structured matchup here. It is an absolute banger. Morten versus Yuya. Let's go.
All right, we got Yuya versus Morten, like you said. Looks like a minor mortar maybe from Yuya. Morten looking like he's using Lava Hound actually.
Maybe, and there you go.
Maybe you know, from his friend. If you don't know, one of his big friends is Carl the Legend, another German streamer. Big Lava Hound Mighty Miner one trick, and looks like he's gonna take a page out of his book. Queen ability from Yuya. Gonna go ahead and take out most of this Lava Hounds. I'm still trying to figure out what Yuya's using. What is this?
Well, looks like just maybe some sort of interesting minor control variation. So
yeah,
we'll see if he has maybe a secondary win condition behind it. Haven't seen a building yet, which is going to be interesting if he is here against this up against this Lava Loon deck. And assuming no building, now that we have seen nothing pull that balloon, so who knows what's going on? And it's.
And it is mortar.
I guess he was just too low on elixir for it.
That's interesting. I agree with what you're saying. I do think mortar on defense versus that loon could have been interesting. Looks like he's going to decide to maybe take one loon hit. Loon not doing as much damage for each hit as it used to, and kind of delegating all of his elixir towards his counter push. And it is going to work out. Like he's getting quite a bit of damage here. Yeah,
that is a really great call, and you know, choosing to eat a little bit of damage, set up, and get some protection in front for the mortar, just like that. What looked like a nice early lead for Morten has turned into a huge counter for Yuya, and now choosing to go Loon with a little bit of push behind it, and here we go. Now it's the mortar for the counter, and picked up by the tombstone instead.
Delivery comes down. I think the biggest thing in this matchup for Morten is the delivery plus Ice Spirit combo does not take out Skeleton Dragons. And with the Earthquake being the big spell for Yuya, I think if Morten, now that it is double elixir, can build up a big enough push, he might be able to break through. But if Yuya can hold on with maybe using that 3-card cycle from the Archer Queen to get down a bunch of different Spear Goblins and Mortars on the defense, it is possible. Here's the big push for Morten though.
It's a big one. Miner onto that right-hand tower. Morten just choosing to ignore it and try to go all in on the tower here. Balloon does hit once, and that is going to be tower down. Just like that, we are now in a 2-tower game. How does this math change now that we're playing same lane with Morten's Lava Hound against this Mortar Miner deck?
I think the biggest thing there for Yuya is that he really wanted to defend that. And we saw it. He tried everything. He tried to get the second roll delivery down. Now that we're in a situation where Morten's got the tower down and we're heading into overtime where like triple elixir will become a problem, I think Morten's looking really good. Not to mention this Mighty Miner. Going for the Mighty Miner ops lane, waiting for it to be on that tower tile, and then going directly onto the tower could be huge, forcing out a lot of elixir.
What a big play there. The spears go to pick up and gets a lot of damage, and as you said, forces out a lot of elixir, and now Morten lavas up one more time. Mortar high, Valk in the pocket to predict the tombstone.
Nice play, but is it enough? Morten defends pretty well. This mortar, it will get a couple shots off, but it will fall very soon. And Morten's going to be probably going for another balloon and another Mighty Miner in this ops lane to apply even more pressure.
Fireball in, does get the Archer Queen a little bit reset here. Zap, and the same trick does not work twice for Morten. Mighty Miner does not do much damage. Doesn't matter, though, as there is a lot of damage in already. EQ taking care of the tombstone. Mortar trying to connect, and it will get at least 1 or 2 shots here. Does get one connection, 35 seconds left. Can Yuya do enough damage in this short time to recover from this deficit?
I just don't think so, especially with this mortar placement. I'm pretty sure this tower is going to be going down right about now. Oh, balloon. He does cycle back to another mortar somehow.
Well, that's that 3-card cycle and triple elixir. Balloon in the pocket now. Can a mortar get there in time to save it? Not going to happen. Fireball. No, the mortar does get there in time. But that's going to be it either way. GG. Well played. Morten taking the game.
Good game. Well played from both players there. I think, you know, that match could have gone a lot differently if you all had a big spell like a Fireball or a Poison instead of that Earthquake. but Earthquake only hitting ground units, just not enough. Especially with Arch Queen being a champion, not able to cycle back to another one of her to help out on the defense. So overall, though, Morten played really well to be able to get that tower trade and abuse that Mighty Miner ability to attack the Ops lane tower there at the end.
Update for those of you who are not following along other matches in Adriel versus Air Surfer. Winner will qualify to the next round. Air Surfer up 1-0 in gameplay and up right now by about 1100 HP as they are 15 seconds away from sudden death overtime. So Air Surfer may be just a couple minutes away from qualifying for our next round.
Giant Skelly RG versus Giant Skelly Loon from Yuya. This Hunter is doing quite a job, getting a lot of value, not going to get hit by that Giant Skelly bomb either. And here comes a counter push, huge counter push. Giant Skelly RG Hunter. Skarmy comes down, does Morten have something? He just gets enough elixir for the log now, he tries to go for it. But you guys got that bomb tower that's going to help clean everything else up. So overall, Morten had a nice counter push. He says, wow, maybe he was expecting to get more damage for how much elixir he spent there. But once again, just that Skarmy getting so much value before the log was able to come down.
Yeah, just a half step late on that log here. And, you know, maybe he's also saying wow for the deck because who expect to be against Giant Skelly Loon Bomb Tower right now? This is kind of an out there choice.
And then with Skarmy in it as well, like who to think Skarmy's be in this? More often we see Skarmy paired with maybe a Skeleton King to see that ability kind of synergy, filling up the Skelly King ability. Giant Skelly Skarmy is a little bit different, and a mirror as well. Mirror Giant Skelly in the back here. I really like that play. Giant Skelly just so valuable. Queen's gonna do her best to try and take this out, but this Giant Skelly is gonna block up this lane, and Morten's got a Giant Skelly of his own. We'll see if it is enough to kind of stall at the bridge here and win this bridge battle.
And what a great use of the ability of the Archer Queen to retarget everything onto the Giant Skeleton rather than the Archer Queen, and she stays alive for that defense. So able to hold on a little bit longer, and you see now Yuya taking a moment. So, hey, Mirror, Mother Witch, she finds her way all over the place. And now this is a big-time push. I don't know what Morten has for this Loon here, as the Hunter's not targeting the balloon, the E-Spirit to slow down. Does the Hunter stop the connection? No, it doesn't. The Hunter goes down, and that Loon runs absolutely wild. 4:30 remaining, and Yuya has suddenly taken firm control of this match as we go into our final 20 seconds.
Yeah, that Hunter was so close to getting that second shot off and taking out that balloon, but the Giant Skelly Bomb just barely able to be in range and take out the Hunter. I really like the Fisherman to pull this out of range to make sure the tower is going to be helping out versus this balloon. Can he stop the death damage? He can. It looks like that will not hit. Huge counter push from Morten. He needs to go all in right now if he wants to try and take control back of this game.
The good news for Morten is not a lot of direct tower damage here. Mirror arrows plus double mirrored arrows, not going to do it right now. So he needs, if he can play some strong defense and not let too much on tower, he can recover here.
Absolutely, and especially forcing out Yuya to use those arrows defensively. Yuya really only needs just 3 arrows if you count like arrows, mirrored arrows, and another arrows, but Morten's doing everything in his power to apply as much pressure as humanly possible to make sure that that will never happen.
Mirrored Skarmy will not stop that first Royal Giant shot, does stop the second. Does that pig get on? And it does get one very, very important hit. That may be the nail in the coffin. I don't think he can stop this balloon.
Yeah, balloon's coming in. The Queen ability does her best. The arrows come down, but the death damage is there. Death damage not even needed. Balloon's gonna drop that bomb and take that tower. And all of a sudden, we're 1-1 in the best of 3 here. Anything could happen this last match.
Anything can happen. Indeed, some updates in other matches. Air Surfer wins his matchup against Adriel 2-0. So Air Surfer has gone through and qualified. Hugo also just picked up a dub off stream as well. So Hugo keeping his dreams alive with a win over Sub to stay in that hunt for World Finals.
Miner from Morten going back to, you know, some quicker cycle things, stuff that he's really comfortable with. Really consistent damage as well. Yuya with the ghost and some skeletons. Not really sure what that could be. Maybe a quick cycle bridge bam or a quick cycle drill deck. Or an RG deck. Quick cycle RG deck.
Fishburne always feels like it's RG, but of course we just saw an absolute mayhem of a deck out of Yuya. You gotta wonder what that does for Morten's deck picking as they're trying to figure out which of my 2 remaining decks do I use after being against Skarmy, Mirror, Mother Witch. Now, one big one is he knows he doesn't have to worry about Mother Witch against these bats. So that's a nice bit of knowledge here from Morten as he goes into game number 3.
Absolutely. Looks like Morten is going to be picking this Miner, Mortar, Skelly King deck. Not using Skarmy, but guards instead. I really like that choice. I feel like Skarmy is one of those cards where, you know, sometimes it gets insurmountable amounts of value, and then other times it gets none if your opponent has like a zap or something like this. Using the guards, once again, going to be super value against you guys log. We talked about this earlier in RG matchup, but Yuya with his RG can be pretty difficult to break through the guards since you need the log plus E-Spirit to combo to take it out, and then Morten can always rely on those bats after the E-Spirit comes out. So that's kind of the mechanic that we're looking at once again here. But as we saw in that last match, the Miner was doing really well in single elixir, and all of a sudden the RG was able to make a big comeback with some really big RG lightning pushes. Obviously in this situation, you are not having the giant skeleton since he already used it previously. Maybe not able to build up as big of pushes. We'll see how that changes the outcome here.
Another update for you watching along at home. Surgical Goblin does knock out Gobbo, so Surge moves in to that 2-2 range. He'll be staying alive in his World Finals hunt. We might be seeing a critical matchup for him in our next round. We'll see.
Absolutely. That'll be interesting to see who his opponent is. Let's see. Mortar, Muskie, and Skelly King down. Lightning does take care of the Muskie. Bat's getting a lot of value here. Snowball's going to slow this RG down, and no connection other than the Lightning for Yuya. Morten playing really well. If he can keep this up, defend well, you know, cycle miners throughout the match, keep chipping away, he will win. What Yuya needs to do is he needs to keep getting some nice lightnings down on those musketeers. Maybe try and connect with some E-Spirit onto some bats. Looks like he goes for the Hunter here. Maybe trying to be unpredictable. Morten does not have the log to predict any sort of play like that, but RG does get a connection, and all of a sudden Yuya has the damage lead here.
Here we go, sudden death overtime, and Morten goes to the number 3 spot. The double drop from Yuya doesn't pick up the Miner, so Morten does take the lead back with a very, very clutch placement. Of your 3 primary placements, the least popular, but paying off there for Morten with 90 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think if Morten can have some really solid defense to prevent lightning value, the Miner poison should get more damage overall versus just lightning damage. But that's if he can defend well enough to not let the RGs connect. Kind of missing a snowball here, not hitting the RG, and all of a sudden there's 2 RGs on the map. Those guards got evaporated by that Hunter. High mortar outside of lightning radius here. Some bats as well. And it's going to hit triple elixir right now. So that might be what Morten needs to ensure a good defense here. But the Fisherman actually connects somehow.
Oh, boy. And a huge, huge secondary shot there from the Hunter as well. 1192 to 1174. Miner in, Snowball for the prediction, but instead Fisherman goes for the pull. 10:58, 44 seconds left.
40 seconds left. Triple elixir. The miners and the poisons are going to start flying, whereas Yuya is trying to build up this big push in the back, maybe get a double RGs down. Lightning is chipping away quite a bit, but here comes the poison from Morten. Morten's got a bit of a damage lead right now, and if he can hold on to it for the next 23 seconds, he should be able to win. But a really nice catch from Yuya, but the pre-snowball is going to push that Fisherman off, allow the Miner to get some connections.
Beautiful, beautiful play going into the Fisherman to not allow a pull here, and now 428. Can Morten hold off this Royal Giant? Miner going to town. The Royal Giant gets stopped by the Mortar. Lightning trying to make enough room. Can it do it? Does not hit. Morten gets the GG, the well played, and a huge win. Morten moves on to our top 16.
That RG was so close to connecting, Rich. So close.
What a day it's been so far, and we're not done yet.